banter conversation, but I think more and more, probably as they become a bit more senior in the team, it will come to them, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Carlson again has got a Surrey cut. Harrow drive. He's going to get 2 because Goodman is quite fine down at fine leg. Carlson, all 6 runs have been off the inside edge in that region. I think the Price brothers, going back to your point, I think there's probably a lot of banter amongst the youngsters, and I think they're probably at the heart of that, perhaps. But I know Ben Charlesworth's been christened Neil.
Neil?
Off the
young ones?
No, off the in-betweeners. Who's a...
Sorry, I'm showing my age there by saying it's Neil from the young ones.
Yeah, no, he's not Neil from the young ones. I think it's Neil from the in-betweeners.
So I don't see Miles Hammond being involved in that banter, do you? I
don't know.
I just, because Miles is a man of relatively few words, I would suggest. So I just can't see him engaging in that.
Carlson scampers through a single, a take on Dent, which is quite a dangerous game. There's a shy at the stumps, but North East was always going to make that.
You used the word busy about David Lloyd yesterday, and I think Carlson looks, from his general demeanour coming out, and you have to say, based on his form, no reason why he wouldn't be, he looks to be in that kind of frame of mind as well.
Yeah, he does. He's a good cricketer. He really is. He's now their white ball skipper, isn't he, Carlson? Or he's been involved in the leadership side as North East cracks that off the back foot, and that beats Joe Phillips out at deep backward square.
That was a clever shot.
Yeah,
because he didn't go fully through with it.
He got on it early, and it went in front of square, didn't he?
Just a clever a use of power, if you like. Didn't stick the ball on the tee and get the big driver out.
Yeah.
He basically almost played that like a golf would an iron shot. Just not full power, just all in the timing and the placement.
Yeah.
Almost a half stab almost.
I've currently got Zafar Gahar in front of me and behind me. We've got a cardboard cutout for some reason in this marquee of Zafar Gahar, and he's fielding now right in front of us.
And he had a brief bowl yesterday, might have had rather more had the weather relented. Tom Price to Carlson, and that's pulled. It's too short really, and 2 bounces 4 away down to deep backward square. Van Meekeren and Zaffar's just in front of square, almost on the rope, and Van Meekeren quite wide at long leg, but it went between the two of them.
North East looks in good touch. As I said, he's come out full of intent this morning. Sorry, that was Carlson, wasn't it? But Glamorgan look as if they're full of intent as a side.
Carlson waits for Price, and a little steer out to Phillips at backward point. It's almost looking to score off every. It's the Ben Duckett stance. You know, don't leave anything, and try and score off every ball here.
Maybe they are trying to set something up.
Well, perhaps they're conscious that they need, after 8 draws out of 9, if you're going to try and finish second in this Division 2 table, on the assumption that Durham are going to be comfortably top, then you need wins. And Carlson has to defend on this occasion, and Price fields off his own bowling.
Well, as we said yesterday, Glamorgan will have looked at these 2 games that they've got this week and next week. They've got the 2 bottom sides in the table in Gloucestershire and Derbyshire, and they'll be targeting victories from both those. If they want to go up, you need to win. And they were very close to going up last year as well. I thought, they finished third, and it was really one horrendous session against Middlesex at Lords, I think, in the penultimate game, which cost them dearly.
Price in again to Carlson. That's played just a little drop of the hands.
They had one of those horror sessions, when everything goes wrong.
Yeah, and they were 9 points behind Middlesex. Middlesex went up in 2-2-5, and Glamorgan, who won 6 games last year, remember, got 216. So they were say only 9 points off.
Yeah.
And here they are. They've only won 1 game at the moment, and they've got 5 to go. So, yeah, too many draws doth not promotion make. Well, it's true, isn't it?
It's very true.
In the same way as if you follow a football team during the winter, too many draws often mean relegation.
Yeah.
If Glamorgan want to be competitive, and Gloucestershire too, and it would take quite something for Gloucestershire to put a run together, but sometimes it starts at Cheltenham. Carlson, past Goodman this time. It's a chase for Zaffer, away around the boundary from deep square, and he's hauled it in, and there's a throw to the non-striker's end, which just about sees North East get back through the traffic. But Carlson picks up 2 more. It's not easy necessarily to run a 2 to the members' side of the ground, because it's quite a short boundary, and the only way they were able to get a 2 there was because Zaffer had ground to make up. Stretching his right leg there, having chased that, whether he just got to the ball a bit awkwardly. 183 for 3, and Dom Goodman just doing some limbering up down in front of the scoreboard at the far end of the ground, so it may not be long before he is into the attack. Van Meekeren's bowled 3 overs this morning, so
North East to root.
And are you stopping players playing? So if, let's just say, somebody goes on a loan for the T20 from their parent club, and they then how would people feel if they went somewhere else on loan for the 50 over competition? That if they've played red ball cricket for their own county, that looks a bit of an odd one to me.
Yeah, no, I agree. And Meekeren in route. Oh, that's a nice shot. Touch of David Gowers there, wasn't it? Through the covers, 4 runs.
Very nice shot, second ball.
I don't want to see anybody not being allowed to make a living, because they should be. But I also think that there has to be integrity in the county championship, and you can't make a farce of what, to my mind, is the ultimate trophy in county cricket.
Yeah, and so let's just draw the parallel one more time, and then I'll finish with it. If you've got two wicket keepers who are injured, yes, you can sign a wicket keeper on, and they've never played at that level, then I totally get that.
Yeah.
But I think one match loans I struggle to understand why that would be. Yeah. So Dom Goodman is coming on, but he's replacing Tom Price, not Paul Van Meekeren. Van Meekeren with 2 wickets now this morning, 187 for 4. Now can Goodman get in the act as well? Carlson's got quite a wide stance, and that's played with a very low-angled bat out to Miles Hammond.
Billy Root coming in. He went to Worksop College. His brother Joe, I think, went there for 6th form, didn't he? I think Joe was educated at a place called King Eckbert School in Sheffield, and then got a scholarship to Worksop College. Samit Patel, I think, as well. He's Worksop College. I think Nottinghamshire might have played there.
Goodman into Carlson, who just turns that away into the leg side. Zafar Gahar will come in from right on the boundary at square leg.
Nottinghamshire used to play at the town ground in Worksop, which was a far cry from Worksop College, let me add. And they often used to play Yorkshire there, because Yorkshire would come in their thousands across from the South Yorkshire coalfields. And then 1984, during the miners' strike, Nottinghamshire miners had gone back to work, Yorkshire hadn't, and there was relations had reached a nadir, shall we say.
So Root to face Goodman for the first time. And got a biggish stride forward. And just bunted out to Josh Shaw. Interesting watching Goodman from the chapel end, slightly different angle from our commentary position. He's starting his run on the square that is used by the college itself. And here he is into Root once more, and Root defends back to the bowler. And you'd think sometimes for a bowler of his height that his stride pattern would be longer than it actually is, but it's
a little bit pitch
short. He doesn't stretch out as much as you think he might do.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a good bowler, though. I think he is currently a good bowler, but I thought he bowled very well at Durham last week, Dominic Goodman.
Getting outside the off stump and let go by Root.
They've obviously got a plan here to Root, because Dent's at point, you've got Zaffer there at backward point as well, and you wonder if he's a little bit aerial. You know, he goes for that drive, and you wonder if he's a bit, you know, as I said, that shot there was Gower-esque, but that was the region where Gower was out a lot, in that sort of gully, backward point region, and you wonder if he's a little bit airy-fairy outside off stump.
Now what's going on here? I suspect there's stud trouble.
You have that, Ian, don't you?
Or spike trouble for Kieran Carlson. So he has the spike tightened up by umpire Watts. 188 for 4. We started this morning 152 for 2. Van Meekeren with the 2 wickets. Ingram caught at first slip by Charlesworth in the first over of the day off Van Meekeren for 17, and then North East bowled off.
6 of those runs came off an inside edge where, again, I thought he sort of possibly did Carlson for pace a little bit early on, and he's extracting life out of this surface, isn't he?
And I suppose to some degree that is because he is an attacking bowler.
Yeah.
And you have to accept that with bowlers of his type, that's what you tend to get.
Here he comes. Nice shot again. Can't get past Chris Dent, though, who's at a wide mid-off.
And I know there were obviously selection challenges for this game, but if you had to play Paul in a red ball game, you might get more out of him here than at Bristol.
Yeah.
Where the pitch would generally not offer the bounce that it would at Cheltenham.
I think it depends what Bristol wicket you're using. Oh, that's well bowled. Beats Carlson, goes through to Bracey. Yeah, I think, you know, it depends on what sort of surface. I think, you know, the one we saw at the end of last season for the Warwickshire game, I think he'd probably quite like to have a bowl at. But others that we saw for the Surrey game, for instance, where 600 played 420 for 2 on a surface that was, you know, more placid than Mother Teresa, the Dalai Lama. And to Josh Shaw at mid-on. Mid-off and mid-on are up quite a bit. They're quite tight in on that one. There's no extra cover and there's no mid-wicket, so it does make me want to hopefully nick off to that waiting slip cordon where there's a floating one between sort of a gully and a 5th slip. Sounds like your taxi's arrived there, Ian.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely shot. Stand and deliver, Kieran Carlson. Just punched off the back foot. Doesn't even move. Stands there, admiring it.
To be fair, Zaffer didn't move very far either.
No.
It was it's a short boundary. It's past Zaffer, it's going. Right, Van Meekeren's going off, I think. So that probably tells you his stint is probably done. Zaman Akhtar was the subfielder at times yesterday, but Luke Charlesworth is coming out. So I think that's Van Meekeren spell done for a moment. Delivery. So 5 overs, 2 for 28.
He's talking in Dutch, I don't understand it.
Really? That's probably just as well. Yeah, 5 overs, 2 for 28 this morning.
Bowled well. He's bowled very well.
Goodman to continue the attack from the chapel end, and as Dan said, we've got this propensity of fielders for the steer past square on the offside.
You can see there, even when he defends the ball, he's got an open face.
So Dent at point, Zafar at backward point, and Hammond in the gully with 2 slips. Goodman around the wicket. Oh, and nearly plays on. He just about squeezes it out past his leg stump, and he'll pick up 1. But having played a really confident shot off Van Meekeren to his second ball, he very nearly perished there. Didn't know where that had gone.
Yeah,
you
could see a delay here because Bracey has broken his pad diving for that one.
Needs a new strap. So with the 12th man on the field, somebody else has got to run out with a right pad for James Bracey.
Yes.
197 for 4 then here, and England's lead is over 100 now at Old Trafford. 431 for 4, so the overnight pair still together, and the lead is up to 114.
With the weather there, do you think England might make a funky declaration as well? Do you think it might be sort of, 220 and then have a pop at the Aussies this afternoon, 230?
I would have said that if they weren't bowling at lunch, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
I was just having a look at the lights as well here at the moment in terms of the cloud formation.
Union flag.
Yeah, not missing anything at the moment because James Bracey is off the field getting a new pad.
You can see that the wind is coming in as you
They're going to put
look. It's coming in from over Dominic Goodman's right shoulder as he comes into bowl.
And that's quite a height, let me tell you.
Well, it's quite a height. How tall is he? 6'7"? Goodman's 6'6", we've been told. We think.
I wonder if he's
do have a cricketer's who's who floating. Maybe we've left that one in Bristol. Perhaps. We've got 2 copies. Wow. We are organised.
Yeah, I think England would like 2 sessions bowling at Australia today.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
6'5", isn't it?
Dominic Goodman's 6'5". He's lost an inch. Maybe he's grown an inch recently.
Because that's the 2023 version.
Yeah, maybe he's a young lad.
So
Maybe he's
all the detail done during the winter. Bracey's back on the field today, so most of the spectators in the stand on the Sanford Road side will probably have a quieter morning than they had yesterday. That's a full swing of the bat, and he's absolutely spanked that away through extra cover for 4.
Have you ever played Perudo? It's a dice game, apparently. I've never even heard of it. Pelota, yes.
200 up for Glamorgan. And in the 50th over. Safa's being sent back to the boundary at deep square.
Double bluff coming.
Big gap on the leg side. If he does get into the right place, Luke Charlesworth is going off again. Van Meekeren back on the field.
You're going to see Josh Shaw, who Dominic Goodman described as the Wakefield Wall after his innings against Hampshire to block out a draw back in 2021.
College Lawn End, Josh Shaw. Josh Shaw is sponsored by 6 o'clock here.
So if Van Meekeren, Dan, is the sharpest of the 4 seam bowlers that Gloucestershire have,
Yeah.
in a short spell like that,
Nice start there. Root leaves that alone. Josh Shaw, surprising fact, he'd like to be a groundsman one day.
does he know about the hours? Do you think?
Well, he's a Yorkshireman, I'm sure he'd negotiate an hourly rate.